Jìnnà sí wọn bí sánmọ̀ sílẹ̀ o, ara ló ń ta wọ́n ṣe mọ́ o. Tán bá sunkún sójú, bẹ̀rẹ̀ má ti fi ìgbín sọ kó fẹ́ yẹ. Ẹyẹ fò lọ ìgbín sọnù sígbó. Wọ́n dúró títí ọwọ́ wọn ò tó. Ìṣó máa ṣe ta ní kókó ṣòkòtò tí olókùn ó dá kìtìyàn o. Ó dórí àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Ó dórí àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Àbọ̀dórí àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Ó dórí àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Ọmọ iná náà mi arán síná. Orí mi dákun má ṣì mí lọ́nà o. Mo tẹríba fàdàgbà o. Àgbà ẹ foríjì ni. Ojoojúmọ́ ni mo ń pọ́n wọn lé. Mo ń ṣèyá sí àwọn àgbà o. Mi ò fojú tí ń rìn wọn láyé. Ọmọdé ẹ má fàgbà ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́. Torí oníkọ́ tó yọ ọ̀la ni. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Màmá ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Wọ́n máa ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Bọ́lájú kòkòrò bá pẹ́ràn nígbó. Tó bá fúnra ẹ̀ pín ló dára jù o. Kọ̀wé mi á jẹ́ dàgbà o. Èyí mo rí màrò. Ẹ̀kọ́ gbogbo náà ní ilé ayé. Sùúrù ní ṣẹ́gun ohun gbogbo. Ẹ má ṣèké mo ní ẹ má dalẹ̀. Ẹ má forí wórí ìkìlọ̀ ló jẹ́. Ẹni forí wórí yìí yóò ṣàbàmọ̀ o. Àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ̀ láyé o. Nílé ayé o. Àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ̀ láyé. Àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ̀ láyé. Àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ̀ láyé. Dẹ́bìtọ̀ rẹ̀ àtàrà ilé o. Àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ̀ láyé. Àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ̀ láyé. Àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ̀. Wọ́n gbọ́ pé ọjà tán nílùú Ṣókótó. Wọ́n múra wọn sáré kárù sọ́kọ̀ o. Àyàn ọmọ ògbóògùn o. Wọn ò béèrè lọ́wọ́ orí. Orí lọ́mọ mẹ́wàá lọ ìyàwó. Ohun tí ẹ wá lọ sí Ṣókótó. Ohun bẹ lágbo Ṣókótó mo sọ. Àkúnlẹ̀yàn ọmọ ẹ̀dá láyé. Kò lè yí padà mo ń tẹnu mọ́ o. Olórí làlá bàrò. Orí làlá bàrò. Olórí làlá bàrò. Mo lórí làlá bàrò. Olórí làlá bàrò. Orí mi gbé mi níjà o. Olórí làlá bàrò. Làlá bàrò. Olórí làlá bàrò. Oríjà jogun ìkànnì wọn rí. Má fi wá fáyé mu nílé ayé wa o. Olúwa àgbẹ̀ wa níyà o. Àmì nílé ayé wa. Bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ọ̀tá kọ́ ni wá. Bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ọ̀tá kọ́ lẹ́yìn. Ṣọ́wa nínú ọ̀pá wọn kìnìún. Ejò olóró àkékè. Ṣọ́wa nínú ìdàgìrì ayé. Dáàbò ẹ̀bùn wá fi ṣọ́rẹ́ ṣọ́wa o. Mo sádì ọba bá lókè. Mo sádì ọba bá lókè o. Mo sádì ọba bá lókè. Mo máa sádì ọba bá lókè o. Mo sádì ọba bá lókè o. Olúwa gbé wa níjà o. Mo sádì ọba bá lókè o. Kó má fi wá sílẹ̀ o. Mo sádì ọba bá lókè o. Olúwa má fi wá sílẹ̀ o. Mo sádì ọba bá lókè o. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ, ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ, ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ, ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ, ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Bí wọ́n ti ro tiwa sí nínú ilé, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kó jẹ́ tiwọn lọ́jọ́ gbogbo. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ, ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè.
And there it is right there. Ṣòkòtò tí ò lókùn ó dá kitiyan. Can you imagine that? Just the depth of the richness of the idiom. Ṣòkòtò tí ò lókùn ó dá kitiyan. Just for the benefit of the non-Yoruba speakers. the Yoruba outfit is usually buba and shokoto. That's for a man. Buba and shokoto. The buba is the top. The shokoto is the bottom. That's the trouser end. And then okun is the rope that goes in through the trouser end that you use to tie it. So what that song was telling us right there is that if you have a trouser that doesn't have a rope to tie it, which is the equivalent of a belt, then it becomes a difficulty. That's what that song is telling us. Shokoto ti o lokun oda ketiyan. So shokoto ti o lokun oda ketiyan and all that. So unless you've been living under a rock, good day to you, good to be in your company and all that. Let's start with good manners. Good day to you, good to be in your company, and how are you? Hope you're having a wonderful day so far, and hope the day gets better. What makes my day get better, of course, is if you clicked on the like button and you subscribe. That always enhances my day. So like and subscribe. So now we're delving now into, this is the first time in living memory, at least in my memory, that somebody of the seniority of Davido's father, and I'm not talking about his seniority in terms of his age, I'm talking about his seniority in terms of the status that he occupies within the Nigerian space. So somebody at that level of society, this is the first time that I've ever seen now somebody at that level coming out to address the public on a personal matter. So it has gotten to that level. And what this old saga, Davido, Deji Adeleke, a child called Anu, and Kemi Olunloyo, what this old saga now tells us, what it shows us, is the power and potency of social media. This space that you're listening to me on now, and you participating in it as well, the power and potency of that space. What this now saga that is going on in the Adeleke family, what it tells and shows us is the power and potency of social media. So it was entirely the constant nagging and gnawing at by Kemi Olunloyo that has forced the patriarch of the Adeleke family, an important member of society, a political juggernaut, a dollar billionaire, a man that is trying to resolve the Nigerian electricity problem, somebody that has more than enough on his plate. So it is entirely the social media activities of Kemi Olunloyo that has forced Deji Adeleke, a man of his seniority, to come out in the social media space to address matters pertaining to his own family. So this is the power and potency of social media. So let's pick it up from here. This is a never experienced yet in the history of Nigeria. So this is the first time now, like I said, that somebody at this level of society is coming out to address the press and via the press, the rest of the world, matters pertaining to his own family. So let's pick it up from here. Oh, no audio. You have to hear audio. If you don't hear audio, then the whole stream is just abandoned, because it's a long and winding something. So if you can't hear the audio, then I just have to give it up, because you have to be able to hear it. So let me look for it somewhere else. Deji Adeleke. It's all over. hold on, just bear with me. It's very important. It's the narrative of a little girl that has been caught in the crossfire of a paternity situation. I'm not quite sure how old the girl is, but certainly not of sufficient not of sufficient enough age for her. Hold on. Hold on. Not of sufficient enough age to be able to defend herself. So, can you hear it from here? Let me know if you can hear it now. It's very important that you hear the audio. Otherwise, there'll be no point in this stream. We may just have to abandon it. If you can't hear the audio, then it's too long and winding a narrative for me to just try and summarize it. But a lot of you know the backdrop anyway. But I want us to be able to capture at least 20 minutes of I want us to be able to capture at least. Oh, all right. All right. So tell me if you can hear it now. Tell me if you can hear the audio now. If you can't hear it now, then tell me as well. So that we know what we're doing. Oh no, not me. Can you hear the Adeleke patriarch? Can you hear what he's saying? So tell me, otherwise, it's just impossible to continue if you can't hear him. All right. I'm going to try and I want to play you a little bit of music, and then I'll try and sort out that audio. The audio is central to everything. So if you can't hear it, then it's near impossible for us to interact with this session. So let me play you just a little bit of music, and then we'll see. I'll try and sort out the audio in the background. All right, we try again. Hopefully you can pick it up from. Let's try again. So tell me if you can hear him now.
You are all welcome to our home. I'm the father of I have 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls. Deji Adeleke, that you all know as Davido, is the baby of my family, is the last born. And I'm calling
Can you hear it
this
now?
press conference. This is my ever first time of addressing the press. And for just one single reason, I'm not on the social media, but I'm sure those of you in the social media will have been inundated with all kinds of talks about almost every year. This thing, keeps coming up regarding one little girl called Anulupo.
So yes, so I'm glad you can hear it now. So for the benefit of the backdrop, the guy that you're looking at on your screen right here, if you want context, think of Dangote. So this guy right here, who is Deji Adeleke, is in the social within the Nigerian paradigm. This guy that you're looking at right there, Deji, not David. David is his son, but his name is Deji, this gentleman here. If you are looking for context, the guy is within the same atmospheric status as somebody like Dangote. So it's a dollar billionaire, by the way. That guy you are looking at on your screen is a dollar billionaire. Is heavily invested in the electricity generation section of the Nigerian politics, and his family controls Osun State. I think his junior brother is the governor. His older brother was the previous governor, and his son, of course, is Davido, the widely recognized music artist. So that's the person. So all of that wraps into this man you're looking at on your screen right there. His name is Deji Adeleke. So why is he now calling this press conference? He's calling this press conference to respond to allegations that his son birthed a daughter that is not taking responsibility for. So where is that allegation coming from? The allegation is coming out of our social media via the portal of Kemi Olunloyo. So that's where that narrative is coming from. So all of that culminates into this man now feeling the need to have a world press conference. And it is the first time, by my understanding, it is the first time in the history of Nigeria that somebody that occupies that status within the Nigerian hierarchy, that high up status, this is the first time in the history of that country that somebody of that status, of that magnitude, is being forced out of his comfort zone to come and address the world in matters relating to his own personal family. So this is the first in the history of Nigeria sort of a press conference.
That lives in Ibadan. That Kemi has continually alleged that Kemi Olunloyo has continually alleged that David is the father of the little girl. To start with, let me put it on record that I have 14 grandchildren. And
all right, so I want you to note that what that man is saying right there. So as I've already explained to you, this is a dollar billionaire, an extremely wealthy man, a senior man, and he's telling you right there that he has 14 grandchildren already. So so use that then to contextualize why they are disputing now over this little girl that is in dispute. So he's telling you now that he has 14 grandchildren already.
My name is Deji Adeleke. You are all welcome to our home. I'm the father of I have 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls. David Adeleke, that you all know as Davido, is the baby of my family, is the last born. And I'm calling this press conference. This is my ever first time of addressing the press. And for just one single reason, I'm not on the social media, but I'm sure those of you in the social media will have been inundated with all kinds of talks about almost every year. This thing, keeps coming up regarding one little girl called Anulupo that lives in Ibadan. that Kemi has continually alleged that Kemi Olunloyo has continually alleged that David is the father of the little girl. To start with, let me put it on record that I have 14 grandchildren. I'll tell you the story about Anulupo and what has happened since I received a letter in 2014 from a lawyer in Ibadan alleging that my son David got somebody pregnant and abandoned the person with the child. And I'll tell you what the actions that I took immediately and what. But the reason why I call this conference.
And by the way, it is a clever move on the part of the family of that girl that is alleging that Davido is the father of her daughter. It is a very clever move for them to bypass Davido and go directly to his father, because the father knows what is at stake. He knows that his reputation is at stake, and he knows how all these things can play out. So rather than just this Playboy something that they would have been having with Davido, they've bypassed him and written via their legal counsel to his father. So that's a clever move on behalf of that girl making the allegations family.
Press conferences for us to address. I'm not even sure if it's legal for someone to impersonate a minor. This Kemi Olunloyo has been after my son David for many years. Everything she says about David is always negative, trying to put him in bad light, with the public. This that I'm about to read to you is what I received from the sister to Anu's mom that lives in Abuja. I'm not going to mention her name, but she's in communication with me. When this happened, she was the first, because I'm not in the social media. She saw the thing that was supposedly written by her niece, and then she sent this to me. Say, "Good afternoon, sir. So I hope your day is going well. I just saw this on a blog post. I just wanted to clarify that the account is not run by me, Ayo, or my mom. The account is run by Kemi Olunloyo, whom we have cut ties with years ago. I really do not know why she keeps posting these things, knowing fully well that we are no longer in communication. We have reached out to her several times to stop posting anything about Anu. I'm sorry if this embarrasses your family in any way. And immediately I saw this, I called David. I said, "David, have you seen anything in the social media?"
Sorry, can you not hear the audio still? I don't like this no audio. Again. If you can't hear the audio, let me know.
And I've always told David to ignore this woman because someone that her own son, her own biological son.
So sorry, I paused it only to say, I paused it not knowing that I didn't unmute myself. But what I was saying is that the letter that Deji Adeleke was reading out there is a letter from the older sister of the girl that alleges that Davido that she has a baby for Davido. And in that letter, she was saying that they've long since cut ties with Kemi Olunloyo. So if she's saying that they've long since cut ties with Kemi Olunloyo, that is to suggest then that once upon a time they did have ties with Kemi Olunloyo. So that then suggests that they commissioned Kemi Olunloyo, who we know has issues with the Adeleke family, to use her as an attack weapon to go after the Adeleke family in order to establish their narrative within that family and force them to respond. So her saying that they long cut ties with Kemi Olunloyo acknowledges that they once had ties with Kemi Olunloyo. So that was the point I was making.
Has come out to the general public to say that it disowns her, she's no more her mom, she's crazy, she's that. So if her own son can say that about her, why should we bother about what she says about David? That was why I've always told David, just ignore her, and move on with your life. So when I received this, and I'm on YouTube, I've seen all kinds of things people have been saying, and I just said, look, maybe this might be a good time for me, as head of my family, to say our own side of this story. Like I said, I have 14 grandchildren. So what we more do things for her, or bring her to my family? But there's science. DNA.
So now what that man is saying right there is very, very important. He's telling you that they have 14, he has 14 grandchildren already. So he's saying that, and we know that he's a dollar billionaire. So adding one more grandchild to his to expand his family, that doesn't affect him in any way. In fact, that is welcome news. But then he cannot welcome something that is not biologically his. And that is the point that he's making. So he's telling you right there that, look, my only issue is not this child, and caring for this child is not beyond my means, and I will welcome an addition to expand my family, but that addition has to be a member of my family. So that's what he's saying. I think that's pretty straightforward, and I don't think that's unreasonable as well as a position.
Granddaughter, and the sign has proven that you are my granddaughter, I would gladly accept her. So let me tell you the story of how I got to know about Anu. I received it. This is the document. I received this in the mail. Through DHL to my office. This is the DHL sent to me by Mandele A. Aiku and Co. from Ibadan in 2014 by DHL. And in the package are pictures of a little girl and pictures of David. I mean, they put David picture, with the little girl. This was
just stay with the story, by the way. It gets a lot clearer. It's convoluted at the moment, but it gets a lot clearer within the next 10 minutes. So stay with the story. As the guy continues to explain, it starts to unfurl, and you can see exactly what's at play here. What is at play is poverty looking for an escape route. That's just my own interpretation of the whole saga. Is poverty looking for an escape route. That's when I watched this whole thing, and I watched it severally, and I've heard other people comment on it as well. But what it boils down to for me is poverty looking for an escape route.
Maybe they took I don't know where they cropped David's picture and put it and this the mother of the girl. So I received this in the mail 2014, and in that.
And apologies, I try not to post it too often, but please like and subscribe. We're not seeing numbers going up. Please like and subscribe. We stream every day. We attack matters political and in our society. We address it. We don't attack it. We address it. So if that's your diet, then please like and subscribe. You can see we are after target. So if you don't have issues with subscribing, please subscribe and like as well.
Mail also. Curiously, there was the birth certificate of the child. And what caught my attention was that in the record of the birth certificate, they said full name of father, Adeleke David.
I want you to pay particular attention to what it says here, the birth certificate. There's a very curious thing that is on that birth certificate that I want you to pick up. If you pick it up, say it in the comment section.
Curiously, there was the birth certificate of the child. And what caught my attention was that in the record of the birth certificate, they said full name of father, Adeleke David. Full name of mother, Adeleke Ayotomide. How can she be Adeleke? So that is.
So there it is right there. So the full name of so this girl now, she's going to register the birth of her child, her daughter, and she's recorded Davido as the father, which is quite a curiosity. But she's also recorded herself as the mother, which is quite normal. But the name she's recording herself as the mother is the last name Adeleke. But then she's not an Adeleke by birth, and she's not an Adeleke by marriage because she's not married to Davido. So why is she, whatever her name is, Adeleke? So when I'm telling you that this is somewhat of a 419 attempt, so that's the first step of the 419 right there. Why is she XYZ Adeleke when that is not a birth name or a name by marriage? Do you see? So that's where the fraud starts to come in.
See, that caught my attention. And then also in that DHL package was this letter from the grandmother of.
By the way, that's a clever move. This letter that Deji Adeleke, Davido's father, is flashing up right there, that's a very clever move by the girl that is contending. That's a very clever move by that family, because they've now gone to the grandmother, which is Mommy Agba. And if you're a Yoruba man, if you're from the Yoruba culture, you already know the impact and the potency of Mommy Agba. So if Mommy Agba from whichever family is speaking, then whoever she's speaking to she has to command their attention. So they've gone to the matriarch of their family to address the patriarch of the Adeleke family. So that's a very clever move right there.
With her telephone number. Caught my attention. And then also in that DHL package was this letter from the grandmother of Anu with her telephone number. I'm going to still show everybody up close so you can see everything. And he wrote, "Dear sir, I know you and your family are in good health and your work is thriving well because the Lord has been good to you, so I don't expect otherwise. Sir, I'm a widow with 2 daughters. I lost my husband 13 years ago."
So that's the guilt trip coming in right there. So when they're saying they are guilt tripping somebody, that is this now what that lady is saying to via the letter to the patriarch of the Adeleke family. That's guilt tripping right there. I'm a struggling widow fighting hard to bring up these children, and your son got my daughter impregnated. So that's essentially a guilt trip right there.
And have single-handedly raised both of them with the help of God, but still having been my eldest daughter, Ayotomide, informed me that your son, Deji Adeleke, was responsible for her pregnancy. Their meeting occurred when your son came to Ibadan for a show. I sat with her as a mother to ask her about the father of the child, and she has confided in me so many times that your son is indeed the father of her child. She put to bed on November 19, 2013, and gave birth to a baby girl. So I'm not trying in any way to extort you, but to ask that your son steps up for paternity tests to confirm and take full responsibility of his daughter. I'm also not asking your son to marry her at all. Contained in this envelope are pictures of the baby and my daughter. Sir, I know you are a God-fearing man, and I plead with you for the sake of the pain that a widow goes through to raise our children, that you give me a quick and favorable response. Thank you, and God bless you. Immediately I saw.
Look at that heavy laden. If you've ever heard the phrase heavy laden, that's a heavy laden letter right there from the matriarch of that girl's family to the patriarch of Davido's family. So what? And by the way, this Davido's father, Deji Adeleke, is a devout Christian, a man of principle and a man of God. So how can, if you imagine the impact of that letter right there? So that cuts right into the heart of the core of what he thinks he stands for. So that's a challenge right there. That so it's a very heavy laden letter. But here is how it responds.
This letter, even before calling David, before telling David, about this letter, I called this woman and I said, look, I've not spoken to my son yet, but I'm going to speak to him. But I'll suggest to you to give me your address in Ibadan. I'll send my driver to come and know where you live. But I can assure you that if this girl is my granddaughter, you have no problems with me. I will welcome her into my family happily. She was happy. She gave me her address. I gave the address to my driver. My driver went to Ibadan the next day to know exactly where they live. And I told her that, look, the hospital that I use in Lekki here is an Indian hospital, Vedic hospital. That's where I do my checkups and everything. And that I can ask the hospital to arrange for a DNA test. So when I went to the hospital, I went there myself. The hospital told me that they don't actually do the DNA test in-house, but there's a clinic that they partner with that they will invite to take samples of both the child and the father. But these samples will be sent to South Africa for analysis. A laboratory in South Africa, because it's not done in Nigeria. I don't think they have a lab in Nigeria that can do the DNA analysis.
And by the way, two things. All you people that say that all the rich Nigerians get their medical attention abroad. Here is an extremely wealthy Nigerian right there that gets his own medical attention in Lagos, even though it's by Indians. But how is his clinic not able to do DNA? Because there's an abundance of DNA centers in Nigeria. So why are they having to go through the convoluted route of going to South Africa, taking samples? The longer it takes, the more corrupted it can get. So the more it can be corrupted, the more it takes. So why would they take samples in Lagos, send it to South Africa, wait for it to come back before they get the results? If you had done a bit more research, you would have found extremely internationally competent DNA centers in Nigeria. They are dotted all over especially Lagos. So, but that's that. But the highlight is that somebody of extreme wealth in Nigeria gets his medical needs attended to in Nigeria. But before we go back to it, please make sure you are subscribed and you are liking. We're after targets in the course of this stream, 100 new subscribers. If we possibly can, you'll be one of them. Back to this clip.
I said, okay. And I called her, gave her the information that anytime they are ready, I'll send my driver to pick you up from Ibadan. So on the appointed day, I sent my driver to Ibadan very early. And my driver brought the mother of the child, the grandmother, and the baby. The three of them came. And because my driver knows Vedic Hospital, they came in. They were already there before I came in with, because David to come here, and Lati, his aide. So David, myself, and Lati went, and we met them at Vedic Hospital. We went upstairs, and the Indian doctor said, he will allow only David, myself, the grandma, the mother of the baby, and the child, Lati can wait. So we're all in the same room. And he told us the procedure. It was not, I've read in the social media that they were drawing blood. It was not done by blood. It was from their saliva in their mouth. So they brought the thing and swapped David's and put it in the container and sealed it. Swapped the baby's own and sealed it. And they told us that these samples will be sent to South Africa for analysis. And then when it's ready, myself and the mom and the grandmother grandmother of the baby, signed that both of us would be the ones to receive the result. So when the result was ready, I called her, Madam, they said the result is out. I'll send my driver to pick you up so that both of us, because they will not give it to one person. We've already signed that both of us will see the result. So we went and they opened the result before both of us. And, I'll read to you what, and I'm still going to show it to you. I'll show you all the other ones that we did also, but I can only show it to you, but I will not allow you to copy it because of one reason. Number one, it's very dangerous for someone's DNA profile to be in the public. Dangerous for David for one reason. Somebody can use it to frame him. If somebody commits a crime tomorrow and they say, they've taken sample of saliva or blood or whatever, or sperm or what, in case of rape, and the police comes out to say this is the DNA profile of the person will go to jail. So I cannot share. I'll let you see, but I will not allow you to copy his DNA. The portion that shows the result without the DNA profile, I'll show you. You can copy that. And at the same time also, I cannot legally share with you the DNA profile of that innocent little girl, Anu, because she's a minor, and I don't have the permission of her parents to share her DNA. So we have to be very careful.
Not those words. I don't have the permission of our parents. So not parent, which is in the singular, but parents, which is in the plural. So what that is to suggest that it is already concluded that his son is not anything to do with that child. So he doesn't have the permission of either the mother or the father of that child to share her DNA profile. So even that statement alone distances his family from that child. Like and subscribe.
But anyway, I'll show you the result for you to just see. And so they opened this was the first DNA. This is the original copy that I was given one, and the grandma was given another one. And at the end of the whole story, they wrote here that probability of paternity, 0.00%. And the mom asked the lab guy that, what does this mean? Say,
I wonder if the mom is trying to be funny. In Yoruba land, we say already already. You know, when you are dealing with a very contentious, complex matter, when you find yourself just exasperated to the point that you say, so that moment you say, that closes the matter. That means you've achieved clarity, but you cannot factor clarity with the narrative that is ongoing. When they tell you that the paternity percentage is 0.0%, which is to say there is nothing, there's as much chance of a Mongolian baboon being the person responsible as Davido or a Tibetan monk. There's as much chance of a Tibetan monk being the father of that child as there is of Davido being the father of that child. 0.0%. And the mother is still saying, I don't know what that means. Anyway.
This was the first DNA. This is the original copy that I was giving one, and the grandma was giving another one. And at the end of the whole story, they wrote here that probability of paternity, 0.00%. And the mom asked the lab guy that, what does this mean? Say, it means that David is not the father of this child. And she was really disappointed. She broke down. She was crying, the grandmother. And then, okay, I skipped a point. When we first got to Vadic Hospital with David, and David saw.
By the way, if you want to come up and give your opinions on this matter, the link is in the comment section. We'll be rounding it off at the top of the hour, which gives us round about 35 minutes left thereabout, unless you want to come up and give your opinions about the Davido paternity saga.
The girl, David said, Daddy, I've never seen this girl before. And what I told David, I said, look, I don't want to listen to you. Whether you've seen her before or not, all I want is this DNA test. I don't want to know the story. I don't know what happened. I don't want to know. As if this girl is our child, I'm taking her. That was settled. And David was, asked the girl, have you seen it? I said, stop, don't talk to her. Because that would be, it's like you're harassing her. Don't. So the girl was very quiet girl. She didn't say anything. She kept quiet. So we went. So the mom was disappointed.
But we have to say, Odaju ni girl, Odaju, because Davido is insisting that not only has he not slept with this girl before, he's insisting on that already. So it's insisting that not only has he not slept with this girl before, he's also insisting in front of his father and the girl in question herself, he's insisting that he has never set eyes on this girl before. That's what Davido is saying, and the science is somewhat backing him in terms of the paternity test. He said, not only have I not slept with this girl before, I have never seen her before. And the girl is there, his father is there, the girl's mother is there, and he's saying that, and the girl just kept quiet. So if that is true, if it is indeed true that Davido has not only not slept with that girl, but has never seen her before, and the girl is alleging to the point that Davido's father is having to commission a DNA test, if that is true, then that girl is a killer. Somebody that you have not set eyes before, you just see some random name in the media space. It looks rich, it's a playboy, we know he sleeps around, and you decided to to park the child that the meat seller got you impregnated for in a Molete market somewhere in Ibadan or wherever. You try to park ọmọ tó bí fún ọmọ bàbá ẹlẹ́ran to pack it to ọmọ bàbá billionaire ọ̀dájú. Sorry if you don't understand Yoruba, apologies, but ọ̀dájú ni girl yẹn ọ̀dájú.
Crying that the result was not what she expected. And I told her, I said, look, people can make mistakes. Maybe they made a mistake in the lab. Maybe there's something. What I would suggest to you is let us do 2 more tests. I'll advise that you please stay in Lagos for 1 week. I'll pay for your hotel. Since the baby is here,
the girls' game is already paying off. It's already paying off. They've courted and now are commanding the attention of a dollar billionaire. The guy sends his driver to go and identify them in Ibadan. He sends his driver to bring them to Lagos. He pays for expensive DNA test, and because they are not satisfied, he lodges them in an expensive plush hotel, gives them a driver, gives them money to stay for 1 week, so that they can then, so this scam that girl is running is already playing off.
2 more reputable places. I don't think was crying that the result was not what she expected. And I told her, I said, look, people can make mistakes. Maybe they made a mistake in the lab. Maybe there's something. What I would suggest to you is let us do 2 more tests. I'll advise that you please stay in Lagos for 1 week. I'll pay for your hotel. Since the baby is here, the mom is here, the 3 of you should stay. Find 2 more reputable places. I don't know where else. This is the only place I come that can do this DNA test in Nigeria, so that I can go there and do it before. So I gave some money to my driver. Go and get the hotel. Make sure they are comfortable. Give them some money to keep. And if you want the driver to drive around, fine. If you don't want to take Uber, just take 1 week. I came back home with the result. David was not there. I called him. Your result is out. The result says you are not the father of the child. David said, Daddy, I told you I've never seen this girl before. I said, well, that's not the end of the story, because I've asked the mom to stay so that we can do more, at least 2 confirmatory tests.
You know what Davido's father is doing? He's not doing money misroad anything. No, he wants to get that family to the situation that they have no plausible deniability. He wants them to get to that position where there is no narrative that suggests that child is Davido's daughter. So he has commissioned the DNA that told them then that the chances of Davido being the father of that child is 0.0%, which is totally impossible. So he commissioned that, but still, just for the benefit that they don't have room for maneuver, he's told them then that you stay in Lagos, I'll pay your expenses. You then go and look for a DNA center of your own choosing, and then we'll run that test again on your own commission, on my expense, but on your own narrative. We run that DNA test again on your own narrative. So having run his own DNA, and then they run their own DNA, if all the DNAs are telling you that this guy, there's no scintilla of a possibility, then it removes science. Then they turn it then into what we call in Ibadan, Ijaigboro. But listen on, it gets more interesting, but then it starts to get a bit clearer as well. Listen on, like and subscribe. Look at the banner on the screen. We want 100 new subscribers. We've only gotten 5. So be part of the 95 that takes us there.
He said, okay, fine. And I told him, anytime we are going, let me know when you are going to be back in Nigeria, so that we'll be able to fix. But the mom and the daughter, they are in Lagos. So if they are ready to do it, you have to come back immediately, so we can do this other 2 confirmatory tests. Around 7 p.m. that day, my driver called me, said he was calling from Ibadan. I said, what are you doing in Ibadan? He said the grandmother got upset, was saying all kinds of things to the daughter, and she was really, really, very upset, and said that, she wants to go back to Ibadan. She doesn't want to stay in Lagos anymore. She's no more interested in anything. So that was why he took them to Ibadan. And I didn't hear anything from her anymore. The first time I heard something was the grandmother went to the Oni of Ife to tell Oni of Ife to please prevail upon me to accept this child that David gave money the day we went to give the samples, that David gave money to somebody in the...
All right. So what we are now entering, there's a crossover now taking place right there. So you've all heard the phrase that from the sublime to the ridiculous. To be sublime is still something extremely inspired. So we're going from the sublime, which is the narrative that got them to the Adeleke family, now to the ridiculous. So they've gone through science to establish that this child is not Davido's daughter. So they're now going through the ridiculous route to mount social pressure on the Adeleke family to accept and adopt. It's essentially an adaptation to accept and concede that a child that biologically is not theirs is theirs biologically by root of social pressure. She's now calling the Oni to pressure this man to accept the child, which science tells him is not his granddaughter. So that is from the sublime to the ridiculous.
Got upset, was saying all kinds of things to the daughter, and she was really, really, very upset, and said...
And by the way, if you want to come and give your opinion on this, the link is in the comment section. So I don't want to do a monologue. I want other people to voice their thoughts as well. So if you have any opinions on this, just click on the link that says StreamYard, come into the studio, and come tell us all what you think.
That, she wants to go back to Ibadan. She doesn't want to stay in Lagos anymore. She's no more interested in anything. So that was why he took them to Ibadan. And I didn't hear anything from her anymore. The first time I heard something was the grandmother went to the Oni of Ife to tell Oni of Ife to please prevail upon me to accept this child that David gave money the day we went to give the samples, that David gave money to somebody in the... David does not even know them in that hospital. I was there. I was the one that paid the bill. We did not pay. David did not pay. We were in the room together. They took the sample and we left together. The grandmother said he saw David giving a big envelope to somebody to maybe change the samples or whatever. She alleged that the thing was tampered with. She went to the monarch of my town, the Timi of Ede, and also reported me that they should prevail upon me that why are we doing a DNA test? Can they see that this girl is very light-skinned, that we have light-skinned people in my family, he looks like us and all that? I said, look, I'm going to only rely on the science of...
But neither Davido or his father, that's the father of Davido right there on the screen, neither Davido or his father, neither of them are light-skinned now. So how is that even an argument?
So when my Oni of Ife called me, I told them my own story. And I said I offered her that we should do this confirmatory test. That she did not take the offer. She left. Thereafter, we started getting things from Kemi Olunloyo. She went and took over their case and started bombarding, saying all kinds of things in the social media, all kinds of lies. And I told David, don't pay her any mind. Just let her. Someone that her own family has said she's crazy. So why should we bother about her? So we left everything. That was 2014. In 2020, I received a call, late 2020, when the COVID thing was, easing. So I received a call from the girl's auntie that lives, the younger sister to the mom, that lives in Abuja, and said, sir, please, I know you asked my mom to do this confirmatory test. Is it possible that we do the test now? I said, yes, we can still do it. Anytime, if this baby is my granddaughter, I want her. She said, okay. I said, this is what you do? Okay, and before then, through this Kemi and some other people in the social media, they also alleged that maybe it's not David, maybe it's my nephew called B-Red. Because B-Red's name is Adebayo.
So that's where the desperation now starts to come in. So now that science establishes that it's not Davido's daughter, it's not Davido's child, the family, the girl's family, they are now going through the male structures of the Adeleke family. Maybe at some point they will land on Deji Adeleke himself, the daddy, that maybe you slept with her in your dreams and you didn't even know. So this is where this is now extreme desperation, extreme. And by the way, if anybody wants to come in, I'd like at least one voice to come and give an opinion on this. The link is in the comment section, says StreamYard. I'll be shutting it down in about 10-15 minutes, but I'd like somebody also to give an opinion before I shut it down, but I will carry on. And please like and subscribe.
Middle name also is David. It's Adebayo. David Adeleke. So when the auntie of the little girl called, I said, look, this is what we are going to do. You go and pick your own clinic of your choice. Come to Lagos. I'll make sure David is available. Bring the little girl. We'll go to your own clinic and do it. I said, but before we do that, I'm going to arrange for another clinic in Lekki, apart from the verdict one we went before, so that David and that little girl will do 2 more tests. And then I'll arrange 2 clinics for my nephew, Bayo, to do 2 tests. I said, so the day you are going to come, we are going to have 4 different tests. So that was why people, you must have heard that we've done about 5 DNA tests. Actually, 3 was done by David, 2 by Bayo. So the girl came. They went. I didn't follow them. They went to the first clinic in Lekki here. From that Lekki, they went to 2 other clinics in VI for Bayo and the girl to get their swabs. And then the clinic that the girl's family arranged was in Ilupeju. So they went to Ilupeju the same day and got and submitted their samples. And the clinic said they are going to send their results electronically to the mom and to David's lawyer. A copy to them, a copy to us. So when the result came, the grandmother still said the same thing, that, oh, no, they're going to give them money to bribe them to manipulate the result. So at that point, I always want to have a clear conscience in anything I do. So I said, okay, I'm not a medical doctor, but I have 2 PhDs. I'm not honorary degree. I earned it. I have to. So I went to school. Let me go and read this and compare the profiles. So what I did was, my granddaughter, Emade, her middle name is Aurora. This application for her US passport. If you are a child born to a US citizen, before America will give your child a passport, they require a DNA test. So this was in 2015. So when I said, look, let me even take Emade's DNA test. And this little girl's own, Anu, and compare David's DNA profile, see if it's the same. Since they are alleging that something must have gone wrong. So I took the two, which I'm going to show you now, and I checked the profile exactly the same. Emade's own says 99.999% that David is the father of Emade. This one says 0.00%. The same clinic. The same clinic. So I called the auntie in Ibadan. I said, look, you're a graduate? He said, yes. I said, look, the only reason I'm talking to you is because you're a very nice person. You are young and kind at your age. Because she told me she's been paying the school fees of Anu. She's been taking care of her with her little income. I say, if you at this age, taking care of your mom, your sister, and your niece, you must have a very kind heart. And God will bless you. I say, but please, what did you study? He said she studied science. I say, since you're a scientist, please, take the 2 DNA results. You have it. Check your niece's DNA profile on the 2 different results. See if they are the same. Check David's own from the 2 different labs and see if they are the same. And I told her, I've already checked. This was in 2020. I said, I've already checked the one David did with for the US passport with Emade, and I've seen that the profile is exactly the same. So she called me back to say she has already checked. That, sir, she's not asking me. She needs my help, but she's not asking me for help for the little girl as a family member. And she knows that I help a lot of people to go to school. I have a foundation called the Springtime Foundation.
All right. So I now find it now unacceptable. Now I understand how that girl is positioned. So the person, just for context, the person that Davido's family, Davido's father is now in contact with is the older sister of the girl that alleges that she had a child for Davido. So Davido's father now sends all of the science evidence that tells them then that Davido is not responsible for that child. So having not been able to go against science, because science is cold facts. So having now not been able to go against cold facts, the lady is now conceding that even if it's not your daughter, please can you help her? So I find that unacceptable, because they've traumatized this family in order then to access into their wealth. Because once they've now established contact with this family and they've established a storyline, then they are now using that somewhat criminal contact to now leverage emotional heartstrings and public narrative to force this man now to take some sort of responsibility for that child, even though he has no biological relationship with the child. I find that unacceptable. I find that criminal. I find that devious. You know, that's cheating actually. That's not nice.
At any point in time, we don't make any noise about it. But at any point in time, I have about 3,000 students in universities in Nigeria that I send to school. At any point, as we speak today, I have at least 3,000 students going to school under my scholarship. So I said, okay, what do you want me to do? She said, I cannot afford to continue to pay for her. If you can help me out. I said, look, fine. How much is her school fees? She told me. I sent her way more, a little more than that, because she needed to buy a computer and things. I sent the money to her. Like I said, this auntie, I've not met her before. We've been talking on the phone, asking. But like I said, very responsible, very kind, very nice. And I was impressed, with her. Even though even till now I've not met her. So I said, look, I'll be sending you X amount of money every month for Anu's upkeep. I did not even discuss it, because I told her, I said, the day they went to Ilukweju, David called me after they left, said, Daddy, I feel sorry for that little girl. She needs to know her. Can we help the girl? I said, yes. But let them ask for it. If they don't need our help, we can't just rush to say. So when the girl came, I said, even David has told me that we can help this little girl. So after about 2 or 3 months, I called the girl's aunt in Abuja. I said, look, helping your niece is fine, but it will be better. You are a graduate and just 2 of you in your family from your mom. Why didn't your sister go to school? You say, well, she dropped out, she was pregnant. It's okay. Does she still want to go to school? Because the help I can do for her that can help Anu is for her mom to make something of herself, get a degree, get a job, and take care of her child. She said, sir, if you can do that, I'll be very happy. I'll do it. I have a school, Adeleke University. If she's willing to come, I will enroll her in the school. We have a program for mature, we call them mature students, people that are already married before coming to, they do a work study program where they earn 50,000 every month from the school while they are in school. I said, I'm going to enroll her in that program. Although she'll be in the dormitory, these other ones live outside campus because they are married, but I will allow her to be in the dormitory, be in that work study program, and earn 50,000 a month for herself. While this is her school record. So she came to Adeleke University. We didn't announce it to anybody. While Olunloyo was every year abusing us, the girl was in our school. I didn't say anything to anybody. I just told, they just ignore her. This is her school. I cannot show you her school record because it would be illegal to show you hers. But until she left, she did 100 level, she did 200 level. She had good grades. She was studying English. This is the mother of the child at Adeleke University. But I'll show you her scholarship, her admission. This was her for clearance, her picture and everything. I'll show it to you from Adeleke University when she enrolled. This was from Springtime Development Foundation letter of scholarship award. This was dated This was dated 18 January 2021. Labinjo Grace Ayomide is what it wrote. Maybe okay. They wrote Ayomide, but it's Ayotomide Grace.
All right. I think we've established what we're seeking to establish in the course of this stream. So what is not talking about is him trying to help the girl, but we've established that there's no way that Davido is the biological father of that child. So we're going to end this stream here. We'll come back again later on in the evening, where we'll be talking about the saga between Seun Kuti and Whiskey. So that'll be the subject matter of the later on session. If you're not already following, please follow. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe, like the stream, share it as widely as you can, and dial in. Keep your attention at the ready as we speak to the saga between Seun Kuti and Whiskey later on in the later session. I was hoping that somebody will come in to come and give commentaries on this, but it looks as though people might not be ready for it. Like and subscribe, and it will stay on the platform as a video. So as you interact with it, leave your comments in the comment section. We can carry the conversation on there. So I'll leave it here. I'll carry on the conversation with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.